Hi everyone, the look I'm doing for you today is, I don't know, I call it a goddess liner. It's kind of a bold purple liner on the lower lash line and kind of has that goddess feel to it. It kind of swoops out in the outer corner right here and it comes out to a nice long thin wing. And I think it's really nice whether you're doing, you know, if you want to be like a Greek goddess for Halloween, I think it'd be really cool. Or just to wear every day or wear out at night. I think it's definitely wearable. So you may have noticed my background is different. Welcome to my loft. You guys could probably guess before I was filming in my bedroom, and I really like filming in there. It was kind of a nice like intimate setting, but at the same time I'd have to beg my boyfriend to please clean off his dresser every time I'd film. It was on the right side on my old videos. You know how guys are, they just kind of pile all their change and their junk on their dresser, and I felt bad asking him to do that every time. And then if I'd leave my lights up after filming, he would like trip over them in the middle of the night and stuff. So this way I can just leave my setup as it is, and it's kind of my own little spot. I don't know, I call it a loft because it has like these low ceilings, but it's actually our third floor like guest bedroom. Guest bedroom's like over there, and I don't know, it just wasn't getting much use. I did some serious interior decorating for you guys. There's a little vase back there, but I really like it up here a lot. I think it's a lot more private and I have my own little space to film, so that's kind of cool. So anyways, enough about that. If you want to see how to get this bold purple goddess liner look, keep watching. Okay, so of course the first step is to prime our eye, and if you have Urban Decay Primer Potion, which is what I'm using, you can just kind of take the wand and apply some primer underneath. If not, you can just use your finger with whatever product you prefer. Smooth out the primer underneath. And then I'm going to use Painterly Paint Pot to even out my skin tone. And then this is the part where I'd usually apply a skin tone colored shadow. But I think Painterly gives a really nice foundation for our shadows as it is. So all I'm going to do is take a large fluffy brush, and I don't even know where I got this one, I've had it forever, and just a face powder that is similar, you know, it's whatever face powder you use. This is mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Medium Plus by MAC, and I'm just taking that on my brush and just lightly dusting it all over the lid, and all that does is make your colors easier to blend out. Then taking a large brush like a 222, I'm going to take the color Soft Brown. Oops, Soft Brown. And just take it on the end of my brush, tap it off, and place that right above my brow bone. A little bit of warmth to your brow. Then I'm going to actually do my highlight right now. We're actually going to be applying some color to the inner corner of our crease, so if we applied our highlight later it might cover that up. So I'm just going to take Mylar and apply that right to the inner corner just to brighten things up, and run it underneath, and then apply it right here for your highlight. Now using, this is a B119 Deluxe Crease Brush from Coastal Scents, and this was from the Badger collection, which I don't think they have anymore. And I mean, they have brushes like this that you can still get though. I'm going to take Wedge, which is a lot like Soft Brown. It's just a little cooler. This is Soft Brown, this is Wedge, and as you can see, Soft Brown just has more orange to it. I'm just going to take Wedge on the ends of my fluffy crease brush and just kind of take it into the crease, and you can pull it down on the outer edge of your eye. And then also what you can do is kind of pull it in the inner corner. You can pull it out a little bit just by circling in the outer corner. Next, using that same brush, we're just going to add a little bit more dimension by taking Concrete by MAC and taking it on the end of that same brush, just a little bit more focused on the ends. Tap it off and just place that kind of right over where we placed Wedge. And then pull that out a little bit as well. And if you want to, you can go back over with a blender brush And next we want to take Satin Taupe, and this is kind of a midway color between almost like a purple and a brown. It's just like a taupey color, and you can take that on any crease brush that you prefer. I like MAC 217. Swirl that up into the crease and bring it down to your lash line a little bit, and then swirl it in the outer corner just to bring it out. Okay, so now that we've put down all of our lid colors, we can start in with our bright purple liner, and I'm using the Urban Decay liquid liner in the color Ecstasy, and it's just a really kind of electric purple color, and it has a nice thin brush so you can get a really precise application. Let's just get a good amount of product on the end of our brush, and you really want to start making kind of like this half moon shape in the outer corner. It really helps to get underneath those lashes and make kind of like a half moon, and that really is kind of like that signature goddess liner shape. So right here, it's kind of just like a curvy shape, and just focus that on your outer corner, and you can take some time to do this. This product doesn't dry very quickly, so you definitely have some room to play with your shape. Good, and once you do that, you can start to bring it in towards the center, underneath the lashes still, like that. Just lay it against your lid. And then I'll just take my finger, blend it out. And I'm just going to make sure it's even and pull out our wing. You want to kind of keep it nice and flat, and just pull it out along the edge of the shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect on the top because we're going to be placing our black liner to kind of correct any smudges we might have. What I like to do is take a liner brush that I would usually use to set... Oh, where'd it go? Uh-oh. Take a brush that you would usually use to set your liner. And this is just a Studio Gear number 37. I actually got this from Ulta, but it's a great little brush. And I'm taking the color Parfait Amour. All these colors I use were by MAC, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah. This is Parfait Amour, and it really matches our liner really, really well. I don't know if it's coming across in the camera as well, but it matches perfectly. So taking that on the ends of our brush, and especially in this outer corner, if you have problems with like tearing up, if you have allergies, or in the cold, you know, you tend to tear up, it'll really keep your liner in place. Kind of just press it in along there. And we're going to go back in with our highlight shade Mylar. I'm just going to take that in the same brush we used to highlight and just kind of like brush it along the edges. Like, you really don't even want to see a lot of the product on your brush. Just blend it out a little bit. Just softens the edge, makes it look more professional, I think. Then you can take a pointed liner brush. This is like a precision detail brush from Coastal Scents. I'm just going to dip that in my Buxom Lash Liner by Bare Essentials in the color Leatherette. Just create a wing on the outer edge there. And you just want to bring it to the outer corner to meet that purple. Just like that. Make sure you go back in and fill in this little area to flatten out the top of your liner. And then just pull it out. Then you can ground your liner brush to the outer edge of your eye and pull out just so you don't have any gaps between the purple color and the black. Then to fill in some areas that might be a little bare, I'm just taking in synthetic angled liner brush, pencil liner, creamy pencil liner. I'm using Steel Eye Kajal just because it's really easy to just deposit that color on the end of your brush. And then just kind of pat it into the outer waterline like that. And I'm not going to bring it all the way in. And you can take it in to your inner corner as well. That way you have some liner in there, but it's not going to get too thick or gunky or anything. You know, it's just a nice sleek line. For our final step, I'm just going to take a round crease brush, a little bit of Carbon by MAC, and I'm going to take it a little tiny bit, just barely touch that brush to that shadow. And what you can do is just kind of take that top edge of your black liner and just start to blend it upwards a little bit. And you can even pull it up into the crease a little bit if you want to, but you just gotta be really careful with that. You don't wanna, you know, overdo it. And for this look, I wouldn't worry about trying to take it all the way out to catch that wing, because it's just gonna be too narrow to, you know, fill in with this kind of a brush. And it looks kind of nice. You can just keep that wing kind of pops out at the end of the look, and I think it looks kind of nice. Now, mascara is definitely key for this look. My mascara matches my eyeliner. I'm just using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Fusion, and this is the one that is formulated for volume and length. I think it's kind of nice to accentuate that wing by concentrating a lot of your mascara in that outer edge and just following that wing up with your mascara wand. Okay, so I'm going to continue putting on mascara. I'm going to apply 2 coats, and I'll be back to show you what I did with my cheeks and my lips. Okay, so to finish off the look, I'm just going to use a little bit of, you know, just use any bronzer you have. I think for a goddess look, it's nice to have some bronze going on, because it's kind of like a whole Mediterranean bronze goddess type thing. I'm going to use Prism Blush by MAC, and I absolutely love this one. It's kind of just a tan color, but it's a little bit, has some pink tones in it too, so it's, you know, a nice complement to a little bit of bronzer. And I'm using it on a fan brush by Bare Essentials. I already put some on, so I'm not going to put a whole lot on, but it's kind of dusting it on your cheeks. It gives you a really nice, natural glow to your skin, I think. And for lips, I'm just keeping it really simple. Actually, Shy Girl lipstick by MAC is a really almost like a similar, it's in the same family of colors, that peachy kind of bronze. So I just applied a little bit of that, and this is a cream sheen too, so it goes on really nicely. And just for a little bit of sheen on top, I'm using See Through Dazzle Glass by MAC, one of my favorites. And just dabbing that right in the center. And I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I think it's kind of fun to play with these kind of looks and colors this time of year, especially closer to Halloween. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.